we are going to go and make our ways over to the MAM because we do... Oh, Jesus Christ, you can see just how tall this darn Megafactory is. I mean, like, look at that parallax effect in it. Oh my god. Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another episode on Satisfactory with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to the very top of our, by now quite huge, Megafactory, where we have been, in the last episode, getting a new manufacturer set up, in which we are going to be building some nice computers for ourselves and for some fancy toys for ourselves. Indeed. We have pretty much just gotten going on this very setup, and well, the plan is that we're going to be continuing on it today, making sure to get the plastic up here, making sure to hopefully get some circuit boards plunked together in this assembler right here, and also slowly but surely working on the rest of the bits and bobs. We've still got screws on the list, and we do need to get cables going, for which, well, we will need more copper. I do not quite remember if this was already a Mark II miner or not, and how much surplus we may or may not have on this, well, belt of copper that is making its way through the landscape right here. So we'll have to see. Hopefully we can still cover all our needs with this one. If not, we may have to find ourselves a new copper deposit, or, you know, we could maybe also just upgrade that one. So we'll see about that very bit, and then we also kind of still need to make sure that we do actually, in fact, have enough power still available on the network. Otherwise, we'll probably need a few overclocks here as well, but generally speaking, we should have the resource capacity there at the very least. So that is the plan, at least for the manufacturer bit. In other news, I have also kind of discovered totally where I went wrong with the whole Caterium thing, because, of course, after collecting our first bits of Caterium, which I think happened between, like, last episode and the one before, we kind of just need to throw that at the MAM to go ahead and research the associated production that we should actually be able to make the Caterium and get in the Caterium wires that we were so dearly looking for in order to be able to start burning some of that oil. So, you know, that's... hopefully some good news right there. If that's the case, then we will be able to keep chunking out the plastic and the rubber, which was, of course, a big concern of ours at the end of the last episode, and that would also then mean that we don't need any further research in that direction in terms of, like, you know, chunking down even more tanks or something here. We could actually just use the oil straight up, and all the resources that we want would keep flowing out of this. So that is, of course, the ideal goal right there. So that is all the plan for today. Long list, most certainly, but we will get going right away after I've asked you to, if you're new around here and you're enjoying this episode, of course, make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. That would really mean the absolute world to me. We're currently still a very small channel, and every single subscriber just counts a ton. So thank you so much if you helped us try and achieve our current sub goal of 1,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate that a lot. That said, let us go, and first things first, pull a power line up here. Now you can see I'm already a little low on cables, which may prove a bit of an issue here very soon, because I do think that we need it for pretty much everything else that we do want in this production setup right here, so that is most certainly a little bit of an issue. That said, I do actually have a little concern about the way that we set things up down there in terms of the plastic and the rubber, because technically speaking, I would argue that we probably want to split up that rubber in case we need it for other products, or at the very least to store some of it as well, so we can go and make all those factory floors this beautiful polished concrete that we wanted to make it. So we kind of need to see about that, and I also really kind of want to have a quick peek into the recipes. Ooh. What the? What just happened? I was, I don't know. Maybe the manufacturer down below actually starting off because it got enough materials again or something. I was very confused by that. But looking at the current, the current things on the list, we do not have anything else currently that does require rubber. So I think we're just going to go and put in a splitter down below and make sure that, you know, we split some rubber off for the time being for storage purposes, and then the rest can go up here for now. Now the question is going to be where that rubber is going to be coming in, but we'll figure that out when we actually... Not rubber, plastic, by the way, but yeah. We do need plastic here as well. That said, we can go ahead and split that up right here. So let's maybe go and take care of that first things first. We'll go and bring up the plastic. Maybe... Well, I don't think that we can use any surplus from the screws here, can we? Oh, in fact... We may be able to, just due to the low input frequency of modular frames up here. I think that was, generally speaking, also potentially our plan the last time around. That said, we would have to figure out how to bring those screws up, given that there's a conveyor nicely in the way of pretty much the entire effort. So how would we bring that up? Maybe through here. Maybe we can start out like this, right? We will just go, split off some screws, and we'll just kind of use these now, I think, and then we'll just see if it is enough. If not, you know, worst case, I would argue we can always just go and add on a production after the fact with the low frequencies involved, and honestly, I don't think we're going to be able to improve them that crazy much in the near future. It's probably going to be sufficient for the time being. So let's go, pick a little conveyor wall right here, and we'll be routing these screws to here. Then we can go and pull these up in a second as well to upstairs, and use that for all of our production needs. Going on from there, the next bits that we're going to need, we will need copper sheets, by the way. We do need to make sure to pull those over as well. And we'll be pulling the plastic. Now, I do have to say, I do quickly want to go and, oh my god, nearly fall to my death because there was a little teeny tiny lag right there. But I would like to generally go, just trying to see what's being produced where, and pick up some steel beams in order to have enough materials with us for the whole conveyor setup, because of course that is going to take quite a lot of mats. And I mean, we do have tons and tons of steel, so you know, using all those steel beams, we really don't care about that. I'm very happy to use Mark III conveyor belts now because it's very nice and easy to get the materials for those. It's more a matter of oh, well, we're too far down. It's more a matter of making sure have enough on us. So while we're already dropping by there, may as well pick that, and then we are going to go and head over here. So little bit of a revision, I guess, on the setup, and technically speaking we can also honestly just make that a Mark III conveyor, but what I do want to do may actually be a little space for the purpose, given that we also technically have to walk in somewhere. I don't like how crammed I made this, not gonna lie. It's a little impractical, a setup, but maybe we just build the splitter right there. If we can, we'll see if that works out, but oopsies. Of course. Of course we need the flippin' cables for that. We don't even take damage. Perfect execution. We do have, not the equipment workshop, but the crafting table down here, so hopefully we will at least have the appropriate amount of wires to get ourselves like a basic set of cables, so we can at least continue with the basic sort of constructions that we want for the job, and then we go and run all the way back up because we enjoy running around this factory so much. I really have to say, I think when we are done with like these manufacturers that we are now setting up, like the one for computers, and maybe we're going to do the ones for the space elevator first as well, because that is going to take a long time to produce, and you know, we may as well already start producing while we get to work on something longer like what I have in mind. But I think afterwards we really need to follow the suggestion of Kristen and just get some sort of hypertube network set up around the factory, and then we have just some hypertubes that we can hop in and like zoom straight up instead of having to, you know, run around the factory for absolute ages all the time. So this here being a bit my idea, right? The question is, yeah, that works okay. So, in that case, it's not ideal. It really isn't, but I can't get it any closer to that. Well, we actually need to see how we need to align this conveyor thingy, right? Currently, it's at the middle. Yeah, so you would either get it in on the middle or on the sides, and I do kind of feel like I prefer the sides here. Thinking of, like, you know, the alignment up top. Or do I prefer the middle? No, the side, because we want to kind of be able to split off the plastic up there again in order to be able to reuse some of the plastic for the thingamajiggy. Oh great, that's of course going the wrong direction now. Should have really thought of that and actually built some level of conveyor belt up there. I'll place a quick cart and I'll get like a teeny tiny segment of conveyor belt going up top to ensure that the conveyor lift is going to operate in the right direction, and I'll be right back with you all. Alright, back we are, and you know, that experience just goes to show me again how badly I do want hypertubes in the Megafactory. It's taking absolute ages to walk up these stairs, there's lags every single time, and I almost kill myself about every second step that I take, so would be quite nice to have, not gonna lie. So yeah, we're probably eyeing that for the very near future. Maybe we call it like Project Polishing the Megafactory, and you know, in the scope of that project we actually make sure that there's walls everywhere as well, you know. Swapping away from the like Swiss cheese optic of the Megafactory, getting some proper walls going, getting like some proper stands going for the refinery platform, and you know, making this the beautiful glass walkway that I was intending it to be all the time, not just some random bridge with nothing around it. So I think it's about time we actually get this Megafactory straight a little bit, and then, you know, maybe we have at least 2 or 3 different hypertubes that get us to like a few different sets of levels, so we don't have to run around quite as much. Something like that would be quite nice, I feel. Anyways, though, we are not here for that today. What we are looking to do now... Ooh, wait, I already have Mark IVs? Ooh, and it's encased industrial beams. I almost forgot that we researched those. Well, that's very nice, honestly. We've got tons of those as well, so I'm very happy to use those. That said... I mean, honestly, I'm like even struggling to use these Mark IIIs efficiently with like the crazy amount of resources that they're able to push through. So, got all the time in the world for that, I would argue. That said, this here, I guess, is going to be our conveyor lift, and that should be, I hope, the right level. Now, what we can technically just do is we'll go and remove this bit. We'll just pull things straight through, more or less. I would really kind of prefer to avoid this optic, you know, glass walkway and everything, but then on the other hand side there's not really much that you would be able to see from this glass walkway on this end anyways. Jesus Christ, look at the amount of stuff that's already flowing through there, beautiful. And you know, on the other hand side you can actually see space elevator and pipelines and all the cool stuff, so I think that may be quite decent still. That said, you know, that's a lot of plastic flowing through, and you know, lots and lots more of oil being pushed through here. Now the plan here would be that we basically go to organization and we get a little storage container going here in between the 2 refineries, which are, woo, I was worried there for a second that wasn't going to fit, but it does. And then we pull that thing through, and there we go. That's plastic being stored for our beautiful cause of, well, not renewing the factory, but making the factory look a lot cooler, I would say. Now, of course, that means that this is going to be taking quite a while to actually fill up, I would argue. Hopefully, we don't run out of oil storage until then. I mean, maybe there's an overflow, who really knows, right? Is there? I mean, the residue pipe is technically full. Maybe this thing's just working until the outflowing storage is full, though. I think there's still a bit of buffer in the outflowing storage, so this will probably stop working sometime soon. At which point we may have caused ourselves a little bit of an issue because we don't have enough plastic to supply that production line that we've got going upstairs, but we will make sure to get that Caterium stuff researched this episode and get some Caterium wire going so that we can get like one oil reactor going, one oil generator going at the very least, get to burning some of that oil, and you know, that should ensure that that keeps flowing. And on top of that, you know, as I said, our power needs are definitely going to increase anyway, so I'm not going to complain if I can just go and burn some oil to alleviate that issue for us a little bit for the time being, instead of having to throw more power shards at the coal power generators, so I can really live with that. That said, I am really wondering why we are running upstairs currently, because we technically also need to go... No, I think we're actually going to go upstairs because we do somewhat need to organize how we're going to do the whole cable shazam upstairs. It's going to be quite interesting. We do need to bring in copper, we need to smelt the copper, we need to make the copper ingot into cables. So that is certainly also going to be a bit of work. And I mean, honestly, this is... I'm just going to pull up some walls here real quick, guys, because we all know that in no time I'm going to yeet myself off here when there's a lag and I don't have any single bit of safety walling in the middle here, right? It's just bound to happen to me. I guess we do that, and then those bits we do in a second, and we go and insert that right there. Get the basic wall going. Ooh-oh. And there we go, and pull all of that up right there. And that is a little bit of safety, and a little less chance of me falling to my death in this humongous factory. You know, work safety and all, I guess, is not too much of a concern to fix it anyways. That said, so we've got the assembler right here, which is nice. We do have the plastic now here, technically, which is actually not really that properly routed now, I guess. I mean, the elevator is the right way around already, so we may as well take care of this stuff now. Basically, what we do need to put in right here, I guess, is we are going to go and get a conveyor splitter in. Real nice and close, ideally, to where that thing's coming from. And then we go and pull this through here now. Oh, of course this is not perfectly aligned. And of course that is now also kind of blocked. Ew! Ugly. Is that... The manufacturer is not in the middle, is it? I did not put that... Ooh, well, as much as it annoys me that it isn't in the middle, Jesus Christ, we don't have enough inventory space. That may also be a chance to make it be in the middle. Now the question kind of being... Of course! I'm missing 3 metal plates. Please tell me I've got some random ingots in my inventory or something. Nope. Okay, we're missing 3 iron plates. How do we now go about solving that? Boom. Enough space? Yes, okay. So, we can go and try and place that manufacturer again. Which, in fact, I'm probably going to place it worse than the first time, to be honest. But something like that, I guess, is more aligned, right? So you got that. Oh, that's actually nicely aligned too. And this did show me an alignment. And look at that. That is one straight line straight into the manufacturer. And it's properly aligned now. This bit is still blocking a bit, but you know, I can live with that somewhat. And now we can get this little guy and bring him with us again. Okay, cool. Where's my inventory at? Okay, I literally filled to the brim. Jeez. Definitely need to be working on that, ideally. Making some space here again. Let me just delete that, and there we go. Okay, so that is that, and then we can basically go ahead and just kind of, you know, pull this thing around here. Question is, what else do we need here once more? Copper sheets. I would argue that we do want to bring those in on this side as well. And given the alignment of that, I would say that in terms of like walls and organization, we would probably go ahead and place the conveyor wall right there, you can see that that actually works beautifully. We can just pull straight into there and absolutely block our access. Well, you know, it is what it is. We're just going to have to jump across. I'm sure we can manage. And can we actually... Whee! Oh, that works. Okay, cool. So that's the alternative. Just a little slideroo. I love that mechanic. It's beautiful. Love that they implemented that. And then we're going to go and grab this very conveyor belt. And I think like that, right? To make it nice and straight. Yup. Missing iron plate. Wait, I need iron plates for these? Oh, it's for the base stuff. Oh no! We're missing the most basic thing in the game. Oh my god. Okay, well we are going to have to go and figure that out at a later point, or I'm just actually going to bring some with me, because I do think I've got an alternative idea anyways of what we can do. So, you know, I mean, you get the basic setup. We're going to go and make the circuit boards right here. The screws, you've already set up a way of bringing those up. Can't make that happen right now, because even for that, I need iron plates, which I don't have, which is beautiful. But that is all fine and dandy, and that is 3 out of 4 input materials already set up. The last thing that we're going to need is the cables, for which we need to bring over the copper from the base. Make that all happen pretty much up here on this floor. Should be somewhat doable. Right, we can probably squeeze that in mostly, I hope. And then we'll have all the stuff in order to make some fancy computers, which is going to be beautiful for some very fancy, cool new toys. But what we're going to do now is we are going to go and make our ways over to the MAM, because we do... Oh, Jesus Christ, you can see just how tall this darn Megafactory is. I mean, like, look at that parallax effect. Oh my god. But yeah, the MAM, why we're going over there is because we are finally going to research making Caterium ingot. And, well, where's my tractor at, by the way? Is it in the base? I've got no clue. But we'll research making Caterium ingots, and that will mean that we can finally go and make Caterium wire, which will then in turn mean that we can finally go ahead and make some beautiful... Do we have a flow in this still? Nope. So you can see it actually stops when it's full. So good thing that we do now have the solution, and we can go and burn some oil, because otherwise we wouldn't be producing any plastic anymore, and all that beautiful computer manufacturing that we made up there would have been for nothing. But with the Caterium wire, you will be able to make the oil power generators, and we'll be able to burn all that excess oil. The production won't keep running, and we will even have some on-top power, which is beautiful. So that's the plan right there, of course. And there's the Caterium, and here we can throw it in, and then if we do so, I think first things first is going to give us the detection, but here is the Caterium ingot research. There it is. I've got no clue why I didn't think of doing that in the last episode, but you know, that is finally what we want. Now, you know, the quick wire we need the ingots for first, but we're going to go and take care of that, and this is actually quite neat too. 6 inventory slots for basically nothing. I am happily going to say yes to that. Now, I do remember us chucking down a basic setup somewhere. I'm not sure if we just went ahead and tore it down or if it's still flying around. We could just honestly reuse something of this as well. Well, in fact, I don't know. You know, we could also just leave this standing for next Fixmas. I honestly don't really mind, you know? But one way or another... What we're going to go and do right this very minute, before we forget again, going to go and grab some iron plates again, right? That's going to be helpful. I accidentally pressed take all, I think. Luckily, wasn't able to take all that much. Anyways, we are also... Wow, we're going to take a whole 1 coupon from here, because that's all we got. We're going to double check, by the way. I think Kristen told me last time around. I absolutely forgot. Sorry, Kristen, where the Nobelisk was at. I think you told me equipment, but I'm quite sure that the Nobelisk isn't here yet. I'm rather sure that we need to go ahead and research that first. On top of that, Kristen also told us that we do need a detonator too. So we're not really getting around the fact that we do have to research, at the end of the day, the whole like sulfur tree in order to be able to get the Nobelisk, get the detonator, and then blow that pesky rock up. that is currently sitting on our much desired Caterium. So, you know, that's kind of just got to be the way that it is, but it's fine, you know, for the time being. Our manual teeny tiny miners are just going to have to do the job for us, and we're going to, you know, have to, I don't know, maybe I just ferry some back and forth when we need it, or I just go and grab some of that stuff in between episodes. We'll make it work somehow. At the end of the day, the important stuff right now is to at least get some basic amounts of Caterium wire going, because we really only want that one batch for the time being to allow us to... There it is, the Caterium ingot, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. But we only want that one batch going for the time being in order to allow us to go ahead and make that oil power generator become a reality. So that's, you know, the main concern right here. But I would say we do have the smelter now up and running. That means there's some Caterium ingot coming out of this. Jesus Christ, look at that animation. Oh, that's a bit botched, I would have to say. But, you know, that stuff is coming out of here. We will leave this running a little. That's going to take a second or two anyways. And I'm going to come back in the next episode with you guys to go ahead and set up the constructor. We are going to go and grab the Caterium ingots in order to research the Caterium wire, and then we are going to make some of that, and we will use that in order to make ourselves a beautiful fuel generator, which we will use to burn off that excess oil and make ourselves a good bunch of power. 150 megawatts, by the way, is quite a lot. I mean, that's in like 100%, 200% overclock coal generator right there, which is quite insane. And, you know, we will be able to keep producing all that plastic and rubber, which now has kind of come to a halt. When that is done, which honestly should be doable quite quickly, we'll get back to the production up top in the Megafactory. We'll go and pull all the copper sheets, and, well, the copper ore is already going, so we'll be putting the copper sheets over, and we will make sure to get those in there, and we will also make sure to go ahead and produce some extra wires with all that copper that we are sending over. And then we should finally have some beautiful, beautiful computers at our hands, which we will be able to use for quite some cool stuff indeed. So very much looking forward to that for today, though. We're ending it off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all those things out of the way, though, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.